Hi, John Commuter here from Arizona. Rainy, Arizona. And this is unusual enough that it kind of prompted me to think about the rain and why we're actually glad to see the rain here in Arizona. And a lot of times people are going, when we first moved down here, one of my unique experiences was we went to a store and it started raining outside, and the people in the store were either rushing out to get into the rain in the parking lot, or they were crying about how they missed the rain and they couldn't be in the rain in the parking lot. So rain is a rarity here in Arizona. And especially this kind of, it's been just dropping all morning, just kind of like constant Midwest rain. It reminds me of living back in the Midwest. So it got me to thinking, okay, why are we so excited about rain here when in the Midwest it's just another rainy day? Unless you're my sister Maureen, who loves rainy days, but we're not going there in this particular broadcast. What it's all about here is water. Of course, this is the desert. So people here are like, all right, we're filling up the reservoirs. As a matter of fact, we're doing a really good job this year of filling up the reservoirs. They're at like, I don't know, 75 or 80% capacity, which is really pretty high for this time of year for the desert. And hopefully, and I know California's getting a lot of rain too, and they've been having a drought problem. So hopefully we're fixing that problem. We've had an inordinate number of rainy days this winter, but it's good because we're filling the reservoirs. We're filling the reservoirs. And that got me to thinking, of course, everything in my mind eventually turns around to personal finances, because it's the reservoir when we get older that we can tap or, hit for a little bit of water, or in the case of personal finances, some money to augment Social Security or pensions or whatever else we might have to be able to live on in retirement and actually have a decent life that we can enjoy. So filling the reservoir is really important, really important. I can tell you because I'm approaching, I'm actually in retirement age now, and I'm looking at, the rest of my life, and I'm glad that I filled the reservoir for us. So what is the first problem for most people? The biggest initial problem that we run into, and we've been helping people for more than 30 years. And by the way, if you want to find out how we help people and get a little idea of what we can do for you to help you fill your reservoir and keep it filled and protect it from being drained by things like stock market crashes, lawsuits, judgments, other things that might affect your ability to keep that reservoir filled up, you want to go to bankersecretbook.com. There's a video there, 7.5 minutes. Check it out, and information on the page. And I think it would be helpful for you to learn a way that you have almost certainly never heard of before to help you fill and maintain and protect your reservoir, and not just for you, but for those who you will leave behind when you pass away. That's an important thing to consider. So what's the biggest problem for most people in terms of their reservoir? Well, the problem is they're draining it. They're draining it. How do we fill our reservoir in terms of finances? We fund it. We put money into it. We're working. We're in our working and productive and money earning years. So we want to be taking some of that money we're earning and we want to be putting it in the reservoir so that when we get older, we have money in the reservoir that we can draw on and that can back us up in cases of emergencies and so forth. And it's also nice if you can get at that money along the way, if you need it, if you have an emergency, or if you want to pay for something and then pay yourself back. These are all things you can do. And when you go to bankersecretbook.com, you'll find out a lot more about that. But to fill the reservoir, you have to start filling it. Okay, so what's the reason that most people aren't adequately filling their reservoir? And what do I mean by not adequately filling it? I mean, like the statistics show that 92% of Americans are not saving enough to live anything close to their working lifestyle in retirement. They're not saving enough. Why not? Well, here's the deal. You're earning X dollars. You're bringing home X dollars a month to live on. hopefully you're bringing home more than it actually costs to live, more than the cost of your housing and your electric bill and water and food and, you know, insurance and the necessities. Hopefully you're bringing home more than that. Okay, if you are, where is the rest of it going? That's the money that should be filling your reservoir. At least a major portion of it should be filling your reservoir. Where's it going for most people? It's going to yesterday. It is going towards purchases you made last year, the year before that, and maybe 3, 4, 5 years before that, maybe 10 years with a mortgage before that. Okay, so we're paying for today and yesterday, but that money isn't going into your reservoir. It's going into the bank's reservoir. Behind every line of credit, behind every finance purchase, behind every car payment, behind every mortgage is a bank. So you can decide that your reservoir money is either going to make banks rich or fill your reservoir. So that means the first order of business then becomes you got to fire those banks. You got to get rid of them. That's debt elimination. Now, a lot of people think about it, but you know what they don't do? They don't decide to actually do it. You have to actually do debt elimination for it to work. And there are two ways to do debt elimination. You can send the money. Boy, we're really filling our reservoirs here. You can send the money directly to the creditors to prepay, accelerate the payoff of the balance. Or you can do it through what we call a private family bank, which is what is described at bankersecretbook.com, where you can find out about the Banker's Secret to Permanent Family Wealth book and what it can do for you. So if you pay off your debts through your private family bank, here's the advantage. You end up with more money. Don't you want to end up with more money? Because if you pay your debts off directly to the creditors, all that money you use to pay them is with them. It's with the banks. If you send it into your private family bank first, it stays there. It stays there so that you actually can access it to pay off your debts. And we show you in the book exactly how this happens. But you can use it to pay off your debts, but it's still in there growing. So at the end of the game, you've paid off all your debts and you still have that money. Okay, it's not all just with them. You've still got it. So you're actually paying off debts and building wealth with the same dollars at the same time. Once you have freed that money back up that you were sending to your creditors as payment, guess where you send it now? You send it into your reservoir. And guess what your private family bank is? It is the best possible cash reservoir you can have. It earns at rates that are comparable to the market, actually without any market risk. It's protected from taxes, it's protected from lawsuits, it's protected from judgments, and it actually has another piece that builds your estate with money you don't even have to earn, pay taxes on, save, nothing. So you need to check it out. Go to bankersecretbook.com and look for that. In the meantime, this is John Commuter here with you from Smart as Well Systems, and I will be happy to share more information with you. I hope you got something out of this. If you did, comment, let us know. If you have any questions, ask them down in the comments. We check this stuff, and we will get back with you, and we'll answer your questions. So we'd be happy to help you get to a better place financially. In the meantime, enjoy the rain wherever you are. We're loving it here in Arizona.